beat is
And I'll tell you the other day, I listened to the world this yours. And I'm like, this ain't talking like this. So whoever you think is the best, they not making the world is yours. They're not making If I Rule the World. They're not making Juicy. They're not making Warner. They're not making Sky's the Limit. They're not doing it. They're not making Can't Act the Hustle. They're not making The Evil. They're not making Pop. They're not making it. No disrespect. I'm a rapper. I'm not making it.
These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough. Get that pure dough. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Then you get that pure dough.
It's me, Handsome.
And us.
And
sir.
you know, and them. We got James Rich, Big U, Melly Mel, definitely in the building.
Correct.
So this one, you know, I don't even know where it came from, honestly.
He was in the
It
mood.
just, yeah, it was just,
He was in a good
it's just
mood.
one of them things that I was listening to randomly, and I said, you know what? I got to talk about this on Verse for Verse. We are doing another, I believe he's a legend. I don't know too much about this guy. But,
I believe he's a legend. I don't know too much about this guy.
Kenny Rogers, the gambler.
Yeah.
And
I
if
know
you-
his name.
And if you've been to the casino, they play this song in there. You know what I mean? It's been in movies. I think it's been in commercials. This is it's one of them ones that you hear. And sometimes you don't know exactly what's being spoken about.
I don't know this song.
But this is why we
So
have Verse
that's
for
It's
Verse.
gonna be interesting.
You know
for
what
me
I'm
to learn
saying?
this.
He starts
You
off.
probably do though. That's the
I
crazy
thought I
thing.
did. I don't. I just listened
He
to it.
starts off on a warm summer evening on a train bound for nowhere. I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep. So we took turns of staring out the window at darkness till boredom overtook us and began to speak. So he's just introducing, it's him and somebody
It's a
else.
story joint.
You know what I'm saying? And actually, J.O. was supposed to be it because he was saying so many things. I forgot.
Facts.
Why didn't you say? But yeah, he said, "Son,
Bring him back in.
pull up, J.O. Pull back up in here, man. Here's what we'll do, Rich, because we're smaller. Maybe you'll come over here. He'll get
Pause.
over
Yeah.
there.
We always pause.
Yeah. I forgot. I need J.O.
Forgot
for this.
all of that insight that you had, that gambler insight.
Yeah. Let J.O. get over there. Yeah. We're
My
good.
phone's on there.
Let's do this. Let's do this, guys.
Yeah, and I never heard the song, so.
So yeah, I got to close the door.
Pawn shop.
Yeah, so he goes into saying, he said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces
This way he gets into the
and knowing what their
Yeah.
cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of whiskey, I'll give you some advice."
Come on now.
So now this is back to the other person. I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Pause.
That was
Then he-
crazy.
Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light.
He didn't have anything.
Son.
And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta
got to.
learn to play it right."
That is a fact.
So now this is the part you may know, Rich. You know what I'm saying?
This is the part everybody
Yeah.
knows.
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away,
Know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, be down enough for counting. When the deal is done.
So all right, we're gonna talk about this.
What?
We're
That's
gonna talk
even,
about
they even
this.
like interpolated that and used it in
In
rap songs.
in rap
That's what I'm
songs.
saying.
I mean, it could
What?
be used
Never
for
heard
everything.
That metaphor has
never
been
heard that?
used in
Heard the
multiple
song.
facets of
I heard
life.
that song. I'm ashamed of
So
it.
J.O.
He just doesn't. He hasn't been impacted. He heard it.
That's what I mean.
It just
I,
never-
I'll say he definitely heard
That
it.
no way to
That's
hold 'em,
all.
that sounds like a country song that I've heard before, but I don't
That's
know.
actually what
That's
it is.
probably
But I
the
mean,
That's
so
what it is.
That's exactly what
this
it
is
is.
definitely
This is
that
the country
song.
song,
right?
So you know, to be clear, you
And
know
this
what I
guy
mean?
is a legend.
He's giving advice.
100%.
Well, at
But
the time,
the
he
song-
was, right? The guy was.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
He's
right.
giving advice.
That was
The-
passed on to him.
The song is called "The Gambler." So he's found a way of giving advice from being a gambler. He's learned things, and you've gambled. We've gambled plenty of times. So
That's why I don't gamble.
One would say that you're a gambler.
Nah, but I was gonna say,
Definitely was a gambler.
but let's take it out of the casino gambling. Life is a gamble.
Life is a
Facts.
gamble.
Facts.
If you're trying to be successful at there's nothing guaranteed, so you're gonna have to take a risk. And then like we get into all of that, you know, what you're risking and the risk to reward and all of that kind of stuff. But it's a gamble.
those-
He
those
used
scenarios, what can happen,
gambling
what
to
can't happen.
reference
Yes.
life
I was
in
gonna
its
say
entirety.
everything.
I was gonna say yes, like because I was gonna get into all of that gamble because you know I was
My
gonna
bad,
get
I went.
into you know stock market. We like that. Some may say it's a gamble.
Son,
You know what I'm saying?
everything.
It
But
is most-
the reason I bring up the gambler in this because of specific lines. You know, hold them and fold them. You know what I mean? This is poker we're talking about.
Yep.
He's talking specifically in that game. Hold them and fold them. You know what I mean? You got to know when to keep all your cards. You got to know when to put them cards in and get the new set. You got to know when to just run away. You got to know when it's too much. You can't win this.
He used multiple card game references.
Talk about it,
As a
Jay.
matter
Whether
for
it
life,
be
though.
whether it be superstitions, like not counting your money at that table.
But even that's a yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Because there'll be plenty, and that could apply to Russian. You so
Uh-huh.
anxious to count your money.
so that's gambling.
life.
Period. Right.
Gambling, period.
Right. So because even the counting your money at the table, like how I interpreted that, you know, I used to be a gambling man myself. You know, a lot of times
Used
when
to
I
be?
would.
Used to be was what my follow up question was going to be as well.
Yeah, I'm not. I still, you know, I dibble and dabble, but you know, not like I used to.
Okay.
Not like I want
Alright.
to. You know what I'm saying? But I remember I don't know how to count cards, but I know like the gist of what you're supposed to be doing. But you have to pay attention
Not
to
a win.
all of the cards that's coming out.
But again,
Hold on, sir. Give me a second. So if I decide to not pay attention to those cards and start counting my money at the table, I'm gonna miss what's going on.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now you lose focus.
Yeah.
So you lose.
So that's just how I interpreted that line still going in the card games. You know what I mean? Knowing exactly what's going on.
I mean, I think that's exactly what he meant as far as
You know what I'm
rushing and being too quick to, you know.
so that's just like life shit. So let's bring it to now, right? What about Ja Morant? Did he start counting his money and stop looking at the table? Is that what happened to him? That's what I'm saying. That's
You went
right
there.
now. And he's not a gambler. It's right now.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say also just the idea of getting too. He says it later on. And I don't know if we got to that in the verse, but getting too up or getting too down. You know what I'm saying? Like counting your money is like being excited that you won, right? But life is a very very long
a
game.
long game.
You know
That's
what I'm
the-
saying?
yeah.
So you can't be too excited about anything in the moment because moments are fleeting and wins are losses and losses are wins, as he's gonna say.
If I may, before we move on, because we did skip past a song, I'm gonna get into this really quick. The beginning, how he met this person, who this person was.
Talk about it.
right.
This is impactful on many lessons because nowadays, and you know, this is a little of mine. You hear all the time, you know, I'm not listening to this person. They don't got nothing. They ain't do it. He met a stranger on a train to nowhere, and he sat down. He gave that man his ear. He could have looked at that guy and said, "You don't know what you're talking about. How do you know what you're talking about? You're just some wanderer on a train."
What he asked for?
He asked for whiskey.
And then he bummed away.
Then he bummed a bogey.
And he's dropping game.
You know what I'm saying? So he sat down. He basically hustled this man out of a bogey and some sauce. You know what I'm
But
saying?
did he hustle him
Right.
or did he?
He hustled him.
He gave him
solid
It was a fair exchange.
way worth what he
It was a
gave him.
fair exchange. You know,
gave
it
him.
was a fair exchange. But look at the ability to receive that messaging. You know,
Yeah.
Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. Because every hand's a winner,
And every
every
hand's a
hand's
loser.
a loser.
Life.
And the best you can hope for is to die in your sleep.
that's the
life. That's
duality
what
of
I'm telling
life.
you,
That's the
life.
duality of life.
That's what I'm telling you. It's life. Yeah, it's life.
That's the duality of life.
best thing you can hope for.
It's called the law of polarity.
Man.
You know,
What does that mean?
as
What does that
above,
mean?
so
As
below.
above, so is below.
Everything is everything, and everything is nothing.
Lauren Hill said that as well.
It's a fact.
Oh man, Mel, I need.
big fact.
Sorry. Just to elaborate, what it was saying is it's all about perspective, right? Like something that seems like a positive to you can be a negative to somebody else, and vice versa. It's all about how you look at the situation.
That's a fact. I think just as Seth said, and as you're saying, like when we talk about gambling and we talk about that line right there is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because that's my thing right there. Like every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And look, I'm gonna bring it back to gambling just one more time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes
you like gambling, huh?
I do. I mean, I've won a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money. But it's like you could get a hand in 21. You can have a 16. You know what I mean? The dealer, or let's say you have a 12, right? Normally, if you have 12 and the dealer,
you stay.
Hold on. Well, y'all don't know. It depends on what the dealer.
Depends on what the dealer's showing.
Depends on what you're playing. Yeah.
No, so if you have 12,
If
and
the dealer has the hit joint you hit.
Drop that knowledge,
I'm
EB.
trying to
Drop
tell
that
you,
knowledge,
I'm gonna
EB.
give it to y'all. I'm
Apologize,
gonna
gambler.
Drop
give it
that
to you guys.
knowledge.
Apologize,
Pause.
gambler. Give it to me.
Boom. If you
Pause.
have 12 and the dealer is showing a 6, you're supposed to believe the dealer has 16. If it's showing 6 or anything
Every
under,
time.
so that means the dealer has to hit, right? If they have 16 or lower, they have to hit, and you want the dealer to break.
Yep.
But if you hit on a 12 and you get a 10, you break. So let's say it's a 10, that's going to be the next card. We don't know. But say you don't hit that 12 because you're not supposed to, according to the rules, the dealer hits and he gets a 2. And now he has 18 and you lose with that 12. You could have hit, got the 4, the 2, and got 14. You know what I mean? So that hand could have been a winner or it could have been a loser.
That's
Depends on what happens
You got to
next.
know when to hold them.
Exactly.
Know when to
Also,
fold them.
Even if you win that hand, right? Let's say you win that hand, right? That could be the last hand you win, and that's a loser for me. Cause I'm gonna be tight
That
moving
hand is
forward.
a loser. If that's the last hand
If that's
you win,
the last hand you win. That was
loser hand.
you a loser
that's
now.
something you gotta
He-
catch.
he-
If you
he
playing
also-
blackjack and you win on the 12. You're not gonna keep.
That's what I'm saying. It's
playing
not even
and you
about
gonna
what you
win
win or lose on. It's
Yeah.
just the fact of how
I'm
you
talking
look at
strictly
it, right?
blackjack,
Like
right.
I forget this story. It's this like little fable thing, and it's like every time something that seems like it's good happened to you,
Blessings
it's
ain't
the
good.
reason why something bad happened to you, and vice versa. Something bad happened to you was the blessing that you needed later on, right? So you win that. For example, with stock market, people do this a lot. If you win a lot of money easily, people then think they're gonna always win
yeah, you're gonna
easily,
expect that.
and they're gonna end up losing big eventually.
Big time.
Isn't that why, with the metaphor for gambling, because life is everything is a calculated risk. So everything you do, you gotta stick to your whatever your plan is. Whatever you say, when this happens, I do this. Like you just said, if I got 12. So even though the dealer might luckily do something that
You gotta
wins,
stick with
if you do that 100 times, out of that 100 times, you probably gonna win way more than you lose. So such is the gambler, and such is having a.
I also want to
And maybe you won't.
highlight again.
That's the other part of it. No, but I'm serious. That's the other part about it.
I know.
But you got it. You know what I'm saying? You got
that can go back. That can boomerang.
You're right. No,
pushing it out.
you're right. Because it's still a win because you stuck. You will learn
have
through
to,
that.
yeah.
You'll learn. But if you keep going back and forth on your plan and your strategy,
gonna be able
you're
to-
never
yeah.
gonna learn.
Won't get the
anything.
right data. He took his advice from a loser per se. I just wanted to. He took that advice was coming from a man going nowhere.
needed him,
I want to
his
get
help.
back to the
he didn't know
emphasis
that
of
man.
he didn't know that man at all. But
Exactly.
listen,
That
we're
man
going
might be doing
nowhere.
whatever he wanted to do.
I'll say, Rich, you know this as well as you, Seth. If y'all, the Red Panda classes, Ian Dunlap tells you to take all of these the trades. He's like, find your way and keep doing that.
strategy.
That you know what I mean?
Over and
No,
over.
no matter
That's
what,
start
no
over.
matter what, you know what I mean? You have to find your thing and keep doing that thing. You know what I mean? Don't think because, oh God, it's looking like this, let me switch up now. You know what I mean? That's
If you
when
switch, you got to start over.
there you go. You know what I mean? So
Whole new plan.
I think this guy has some advice. I think, Rich, you have some great advice as well. He goes into saying, and when he finished speaking, he turned back towards the window, crushed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep.
Come on, this is a hobo riding a
Somewhere in
train.
the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep.
This is what
He's
I'm
got
saying.
bars.
This is what I'm trying to say. Look, you see what happened.
Just passed away.
What happened is, back to what Jordan's talking about, Joe, about even listening to this dude.
Come on
He's
now.
only listening. I'm gonna keep it a stat with you. He's only listening because he lost.
Right, because he's down.
because he's down.
The Wanderer seen
That's
it.
like,
The
listen,
Wanderer seen it in his
anybody
eyes
knows,
already.
he knows.
You
If
gotta think about that. He's saying, "Oh, this nigga's on the train going to nowhere. Why are you talking to him? You must be going
You
to
go,
That's it.
nowhere."
And
this
I'm
is
saying
what
that-
I'm saying.
and
He
I'm
looked in
saying
his
that
eye
right
already.
now
He
you're
said
going
it.
to
No, the
nowhere, too.
Wanderer. This is why I wanted to go back to the beginning. The Wanderer seen this in his eyes. He told him, "Listen, I made a living out of seeing people's faces when they lost.
That's how he started the conversation.
This is how he started the conversation with him. I made a living. This is the preamble to what's coming. I made a living out of your eyes. So I already see what's up with you. You're losing. Boom. Give me a bum of that bogey real quick.
Right, you don't need that.
You don't need no more of that because you lost. You lost already. What you need is this game I'm about to give you.
The rest of that bottle.
Let me give it
You
some.
don't need that.
Let me
your
get a
hat.
little rest of that little flask. Hold your head. You know what I'm saying? Take these gems because I see it in your face, boy.
And then went
So-
to sleep on him.
Here's
So
this
I-
ace.
So as he said earlier, right, he
Go to
talked
sleep and then
about
he
in the
pass away.
beginning, sitting at the table.
away,
He trying to get aces. He didn't get no aces. At the end, he's saying he got an ace, right?
Found an ace he can
He found an ace he can keep.
That's the
right.
But he only listens because he lost. So he won and he got a win out of the loss. The win was the conversation from this man. But he's only talking to this man because he lost.
They're both going nowhere.
That's the up, right? Because it really don't matter.
But son, he didn't just die.
Because it really don't matter. As I said,
Nigga, in the
Oh,
end, didn't he just die?
He said
he
his final
faded
words.
away.
He
does say
said,
his final
son,
words.
he said he turned his back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. What's that? I think he just
Oh,
died. son.
boy, tapped out.
Nigga just passed away.
He crapped out.
I thought they said something about dying early on, too.
He said
Oh,
in
man.
his final words.
Yeah.
Final
He
words is
passed
dark
away,
and
love.
grim.
Nah, those
Substance
just,
service.
First of all, they
That's
might
my word.
both be dead because
If you think about it, right?
they driving in the darkness to nowhere.
To nowhere.
They
First of all,
together.
they was
I'ma
they was
tell
playing
you-
lookout for each
I'm
other.
gonna tell you some other wild
never
wild
said nobody
shit,
else was around.
right? So there's a theory that you know when people say when you die you go towards the light, right? So a lot of people feel like we shouldn't be going towards the light. We should be going toward darkness. People go to the light because we've been taught light is positive, it's good. But you go towards the light and you got to come back into this world. If you go into the darkness, you ascend to true darkness, which is godness, and you go into the next elevation, the next dimension. So they're going into
Purgatory, what
darkness,
they call it, right?
and this angel guy, who's the wanderer guy,
Clearly an
giving them-
angel.
I'm just saying they could both be dead. That's all I wanted to say, and they could both be dead, and they're going to the next
That's some sign. It
situation.
said
So that
somewhere
somebody's
the
in
darkness.
transition.
They're both in transition. The
Gambler,
wanderer
broke
is
even.
telling him, "You need to probably
You
come with me."
fam. I was there.
Because everyone's
you
a
here.
loss. You too focused on what just happened. This
Or
don't even
before
matter.
you get
Right.
here,
This
because
doesn't
worry about the
you
topic
new
at hand,
here,
what you-
obviously.
I've been here.
I've been here.
I've been on this
So
train for a
before
long
you
time.
get
That's
here,
why
I've
he
been
needed
on
the
this
whiskey
train.
and the bogey.
You know what I'm saying? I've been on this train for a little minute. You a new passenger.
All I'm saying is they both dead.
Let me
Now,
show you what stop to get off. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you when to hit that.
What's your favorite part of this verse?
It's obvious. Listen, I read your eyes.
I read
like
your
that.
eyes.
I see what's going on with you, boss. You can't hide. There's
He
no
made a
getting around
living
this.
out
I
of
made a
reading people's
living
faces and knowing
out
what
of
their
reading
cards were
people's
by
faces.
the way they held their
I know
eyes.
your stuff.
I know your
You know what I'm saying? I know what's up with you, boy. You lost. You know what I mean? You're down in the dumps right now. Take this game, brother.
Seth, what's your favorite part of this verse?
Because every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser.
yeah,
and the
that's
best that
mean.
you can hope for is to die in your sleep.
Gang, gang.
And he fell asleep. He is dead, Seth.
Trying to tell you, that's
He's
the,
dead.
That was,
He's dead.
He fell asleep.
He fell
and died.
asleep.
That's the best he could hope
That's
for,
what
and
he
he
best
got
could hope
it.
for, and he got it.
Crazy.
That song is crazy.
Mel, what's your favorite part of this verse?
Sick.
I never
My favorite
realized
part
that
of
till
verse
just
is
now.
the-
though.
literally the
Just going
last
through it.
line. You found the ace that you could keep. 'Cause no matter how the song started or how it ended, he was like, you know what?
He dropped them gems on
Yeah,
us.
I need that. I need that.
What you got for us,
Perspective.
Rich?
Glass half full.
What Seth said is my favorite part. Every hand's a winner, every hand's a loser. Yeah.
That's life. Life be lifing.
You know, I'm the gambler as well,
Are you?
and you gotta know when to hold.
Ho, ho.
Know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away.
And what?
Know when to run.
You never count your money.
When we go back there,
While you
yeah.
sitting at the
Must be on
table.
Saturday.
There'll be time enough to
Count
count.
You gonna be
when
with
the dealing's done.
And this is another episode of Verse for Verse.
Like,
Like, share, comment, subscribe.
What you thought?
You know, we got more Kenny Rogers coming up soon. I'm fronting. But tell us what you think. It's me, Handsome, Big U, James Rich, Mel, J.O. We out of here.
I never.
These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that pure dough. Get that pure dough. Go get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. You get that pure dough.